We're back in Albany with a look at our I Love New York starting lineups. Canisius, we told you about Frank Turner, Bob Bevilacqua, Elton Frazier, Tomas Vasquez Simmons, and Keith Logans, or rather Greg Logans, on the floor for the Griffs to start. And for Ryder, Robinson, the Thompson brothers, Mansell, and Ringgold, a member of the All-MAAC rookie team, in the starting five for Ryder. The Bronx come in with a record of 21-9. Canisius at 6-24. Could there be a upset of epic proportion in store here tonight? We shall find out at the Times Union Center. Here is Jason Thompson, #1, the MAAC Player of the Year. First team all-conference each of the last 2 years, and as Rob said in our open, expected to be a first-round NBA pick. And it's Ryder on the board first. Very little resistance to Justin Robinson.
Able to turn the corner and get himself all the way to the rim. Justin Robinson, a guy that's kind of flown under the radar screen all season long. He's a freshman, but he's the starting freshman point guard for a team that finished tied for the regular season championship with Siena. That in and of itself is saying something.
Frazier misses the runner. Logans tries to keep it alive, but Harris Mansell comes up for the defensive rebound.
Remember, Canisius got to get a good start here. They cannot find themselves all of a sudden in a big hole.
And the arena just beginning now to get some of the fans of Canisius and Ryder and some of the other MAAC fans here in the Capital Region back in, because we had a quick turnaround. The afternoon session was running behind, so they cleared the arena, and some of the fans coming back in just as we speak.
Like one of those commercials. Where'd everybody go?
Yeah. Well, we had a terrific crowd of 78-94 for the afternoon session because of Siena's presence. And here we won't have quite those numbers. Our coaching matchup brought to you by Anaconda Sports and The Rock. Tom Parada and his club pulling off the nice upset last night over Iona, 64-59. Rashawn Johnson and Bobby Bevilacqua each went with 14 points. Ryan Thompson fouled on his drive toward the lane. Meanwhile, for Ryder, the 2008 Coach of the Year in the conference, Tommy Dempsey, year #3 in charge of the Bronx. He was an assistant coach before being elevated to the top job, replacing Don Harlem, who is now the athletics director at Ryder.
And when he accepted the Coach of the Award honor, first thing he said at the press conference was thanking Don Harlem for the opportunity.
There you see Ryder dominates, as they have done this year. They are the #2 seed, Canisius the #10 seed.
So Don Harlem gave him the opportunity not only to be the coach on the interim basis, but then when Don decided to stay on as the athletic director, gave him the job despite the fact that Ryder struggled in the first season under Tommy Dempsey.
Turner called for the over and back violation. The official felt that his sneaker had caught the midcourt stripe.
And again, because it's those gold sneakers, it stands out.
That's true. Got to be the shoes.
We saw it last night when there was a question as to whether or not it was a three-point shot. It just, brings your attention to your feet.
Nice ball movement to find Ryan Thompson for the layup.
Now they run terrific offense. One of the reasons why they lead the MAAC in field goal percentage at 49%. That's good for top 10 in the country.
Turner and Bevilacqua in the backcourt. Frazier, entry pass to Logans to the reverse. Up and over, the best shot blocker in the league for 2.
And that's what you got to do. You can't be afraid of Jason. You got to go right at him.
Thompson averages nearly 3 blocks per game, but couldn't get a piece of that one. And the star freshman for the Griffs on the board with the reverse layup.
Well, best way to stop Jason Thompson is sit Jason Thompson. Got to go at him, force him to defend, see if you can't get him to pick up a couple of fouls.
Nice job to keep the dribble for Frank Turner. Over to Frazier for 3. That would have tied it. Instead, the Bronx trying to make him pay at the other end. Ringgold right around Vasquez Simmons for 2.
All Ringgold does is make layups. That's all he takes. He won't step outside the paint. Again, he knows his limitations. Not a guy that's going to step out, face up, and shoot the basketball. One of the reasons why he shoots it at such a high percentage, 62%, second best in the MAAC.
Bevilacqua picked up his dribble. Nobody came to him. He was fortunate to get that pass off. Canisius having to reload. 11 seconds to shoot. Turner into the lane, but he missed everything. Jason Thompson saves to his younger brother, Ryan. Robinson waits for the trailer. Here is Robinson. Hits the three. No defense on him. And what you talked about, Rod, Canisius cannot do is dig itself a huge hole. And right off the bat, down 10-2.
Not the start that Tom Parada was looking for. The Riders scored just about every way imaginable, including at the backside of this break on the kick out. And Robinson stepping up. He's been aggressive here in our first 4 minutes. Got 5 quick points, including that 3.
16:51 remaining first half. This is the third of our 4 quarterfinals this evening in Albany. There is Jason Thompson. He's listed at 6'11", 250 pounds, a senior out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and out of Lenape High School. 4 years ago, when he was a high school senior and his younger brother Ryan was a high school sophomore, they won the state title down in New Jersey, trying to add a MAAC championship to their trophy case. Turner misfired, didn't know for sure if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it's the Bronx running the other way, and there's big Jason Thompson coming down with that tough pass, unable to finish.
That was a great catch.
Turner with the bump, can't finish. Said that a lot here in the early going. Robert Goldsberry, who was so terrific late in last night's win, on the floor early here for the Golden Griffins.
Had a couple big plays coming down the stretch, including a terrific bounce pass late in the shot clock that basically ended up being the game winner. The Canisius team that not many people thought would be here. The 10th seed, winning just 2 games during the MAAC regular season.
Rob, there is Tomas Vasquez Simmons, who has had an extremely trying week and tough day. This is Vasquez Simmons on the inbound. He hits the 3. He spent this morning back in Rochester, his hometown, attending his grandfather's funeral. His grandfather was really a father figure to him. He died a few days ago, and with the bad weather across upstate New York, it was not easy to get out this morning, but Tom Parada's wife, the head coach of Canisius' wife, Dina Parada, took the time to drive on the thruway out to Rochester with Tomas to be able to attend the funeral and then get back in time for this ball game tonight. So whatever occurs for Vasquez Simmons, I'm sure is just going to be secondary for the kind of day he has already had. We'll take a break here at the Times Union Center. Back in Albany, Rider up 10-5, and you can get your tickets now for the MAAC Baseball Championships in Trenton, New Jersey, May 22nd through the 24th by calling 609-394-3300 or go online to MAACsports.com. Doug Sherman, Rod Kennedy back with you at the Times Union Center, and we were talking before that break about the day that Tomas Vasquez Simmons has had. And the coaching staff for Canisius doing everything right, making sure one of their student athletes gets what he needs in his personal life.
Yeah, Tom Parada and assistant Rob Norris, as soon as the game was over yesterday, you and I bumped into him in the hallway. And all of a sudden that win, a good win for a program that had struggled to just 5 wins prior to last night. Didn't have any time to worry about the win. Instead, they were worried about making sure that they could get Tomas back to Rochester. They're on the phone checking train schedules, and that shows you what type of guy Tom Parada is. He's all about family, and he showed it with his actions last night and today.
And their plan was, had Canisius lost last night, the entire team would have bust up and been at the funeral in support of Tomas. But as it turned out, it was just Tom Parada's wife who wound up driving Tomas up and back all early this morning. 225 miles, and that's with part of the thruway having been closed overnight because of the nasty weather.
Tough sledding, literally, today.
Sure is. And here is Vasquez Simmons, who's already knocked down a 3, misses on the turnaround. Thompson with the rebound.
And here's where he's really expanded his game, being able to put the ball on the floor after he rebounds to go start the break.
Ringgold, series of fakes, gets himself to the bucket, misses the tip. Ryan Thompson pulls it back out. Justin Robinson fouled on the drive, the reach in against Willie Hassel. And Rashawn Johnson, who was one of the spark plugs for Canisius in the upset win last night. He scored 14 points to help defeat Iona and send the Gales back to New Rochelle.
A career high. We had Frank Turner last night as our player of the game, but certainly the guy that kept them in the game to allow Turner to make the big plays coming down the stretch was Rashawn Johnson.
Second foul for Greg Logans, who had such a big end to the regular season. fifth team foul on Canisius, but he really struggled in last night's game against Iona until the closing minutes. Logan's was just as important as anybody. There he is snatching the rebound away from the rim.
He's a big, strong, quick jumper. You see his athleticism in the post.
Hassel spins, shoots over Harris Mansell and gets it to go. 12-7, Canisius back within 5.
And he can be a Vinnie Johnson type player for this team. A little microwave off the bench.
Ryan Thompson posting up Turner. Pass knocked out of bounds. Ryder keeps possession with 24 seconds on the shot clock. And now Joel Green and Cam Warner come in for Ryder for the first time. Pavel Malesa has checked in for Canisius. Harris Mansell and Mike Ringgold go out. There you see Logans and Vasquez Simmons getting some liquid refreshment on the Griffins bench. Cam Warner guarded by Goldsberry. Lob intended from one Thompson to another, never got there. And a foul called on Jason Thompson as he threw Rashawn Johnson to the floor.
Frustration foul. He hasn't had a lot of good touches. Last time on that possession earlier on, as soon as he did touch it, here came the immediate double, forced it out of his hands.
Now Jason Thompson has had 3 games this year with at least 20 points and 20 rebounds. And so far here tonight, he has yet to score, some 6 minutes in. So on occasion, when you get a marquee player like that, you certainly understand the frustration without getting a good look. Hassel into Rashawn Johnson. They call him Big Baby, and he makes like Big Baby, the former LSU star, now with the Boston Celtics.
Like Big Baby, he's got good hands and quick feet.
Ryan Thompson, little floater on the baseline. Nice body control, but couldn't get it to fall.
After digging themselves a hole early on, then down 10-2. Canisius has settled in and gotten themselves into the ballgame.
Frank Turner, nice job setting up the pick and roll, but Rashawn Johnson was denied. Goldsberry not allowing Jason Thompson any room to land, and let's see who they call it on.
It's got to be a block.
Indeed it is. Robert Goldsberry, the 6-foot freshman from Troy, Ohio, giving up 11 inches and about 75 pounds in that collision.
And as we said, the best way to stop Jason Thompson is to sit him down, get him in foul trouble. Tried to pick up a cheapie out in the open floor, but good piece of officiating not to buy it.
Cam Warner misfires. Well, there are apparently 14 NBA scouts here today checking out this ball game, primarily watching the MAAC Player of the Year, Jason Thompson, who now on a switch was guarding Hassel on the perimeter. We talked earlier about how Jason Thompson gets the lob pass and has it knocked away.
Well, every time he's touched it, there have been a number of blue jerseys hanging around. That time he brought the ball down, put it to the floor, something he's very good at. Good job by Hassel to go dig it out.
Foul on Robinson as Frank Turner again able to turn the corner. And we've got a foul. Just the second team foul against Ryder here in the first half. Canisius has been whistled for 6. First foul on Justin Robinson. Hassel out, Bevilacqua back in.
Well, Tom Parada has said that 102-51 loss down at Ryder turned their season around. One thing it did is it got the guy with basketball into their plans. Bobby Bevilacqua, walk-on, who basically was told, hey, you can walk on, we'll give you a jersey, you won't have a name on it, you won't ever travel with us, you'll never play it. Lo and behold, all of a sudden Tom was so upset with this team, threw Bobby Drinks into the mix, and he's been in the mix ever since.
What was the Robbie Benson movie from the 70s? All the Right Moves, is that what it was called? What was it called?
No.
What was it called?
Well, maybe it was.
I can't remember, but makes me think of that, where the head coach told Benson, who was at one point his prize recruit, get out of here, I hate you, get away from me, and then he gets out there and saves his bacon, and all of a sudden he loves him.
That was the difference, though. All of a sudden, Bobby Bevilacqua just kind of showed up on their doorstep. Tom Parada said, I wasn't even thinking about having walk-on tryouts. He said, oh my goodness, this guy just kept bothering me. I finally said, you know what? Okay, come to practice, but you'll never play, you'll never do. One of those great stories, and he has certainly been a good contributor. Here's this nice move along the baseline. Quick first step. to get himself all the way in. So just about everything has worked for Bobby Drinks. The only thing is, he still hasn't gotten his sneakers. We talked about the gold sneakers for everybody else. Well,
still white.
Yeah, still white. Apparently the guys at Nike don't think that Bobby Drinks is that big of a story to get him those gold shoes. Come on, guys.
Bobby Drinks will be back next year for his senior season. Maybe he'll have some scholarship money in his pocket too, but he is the ultimate walk-on, having been playing intramurals basketball at Canisius a year ago. He was an afterthought at Division III RIT the year before.
And that's the thing. He averaged under 3 points per game at RIT. And we're not talking about, Williams or Amherst or one of the better Division III. RIT averaged 3 points per game.
Pavel Malesa was in the plans at the start of the year. His minutes have greatly diminished over the second half of the season. He misfires from the corner.
The plan for him is make a couple threes. We'll keep you in, miss them, sit down.
And I should make the distinction as Ryan Thompson gets the roll. There was never any disdain between Tom Parada and Bobby Drinks.
No.
More indifference.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, hey, get out there, kid.
And now he loves him.
And why wouldn't you?
Yep, just loves how tough he is. Loves that he's been a calming influence for this team.
11:36 remaining first half. Here is Bobby Drinks. Catch and shoot over top of Ryan Thompson. And the young man who scored 14 last night is on the board here tonight.
And that's what he's been doing, making threes. Second to last game in the regular season, had a career-high 16 against Loyola with 4 threes.
There's the MAAC Player of the Year on the board for the first time.
But not the matchup that Canisius wants. Malesa trying to guard the big guy in the post.
He is quite the presence, particularly at this level. Jason Thompson heads to the huddle with a 4-point lead, but Bobby Drinks showing he doesn't want to go back to Buffalo just yet. His team trailing 4 here in the quarterfinal round.
This is Siena, a college that builds competence and character, where you're part of a team, a place of academic rigor that builds leaders, offering opportunity and values that prepare you for change, leadership, and life. The tradition, the community of Siena, educating for success, one student at a time.
There's a look at Scout Row. The NBA scouts are lined up as they are every time Ryder takes the floor to take a look at Jason Thompson, the 2008 MAAC Player of the Year, who has just gotten his first points tonight. There you see the numbers, and the bio doesn't even necessarily do justice to what the scouts see as his potential down the road.
His ability to put the ball on the floor. He's got size for a position, and early on, guys were projecting him into the second round. And talking to Tommy Dempsey again yesterday, he said, I'm pretty sure it's into the first round, because now every time I talk to guys, nobody's mentioning second round. Everybody's mentioning first round. And also, he said, they're kind of beyond evaluation. Now, all of a sudden, guys, all they want to know is about him as a person off the court. Not necessarily talking about his game, but now wanting to know every detail about him as a player, how he shows up in practice all the time, and what he does off the floor.
Well, if you're a first-round pick, that's guaranteed money, and so you've got to make sure as an NBA team that you know where that money's going to, and if that's somebody you can count on for at least a year or two.
And you've got to do your homework, and the one thing is, there are certain teams that I don't think there's any way that he falls behind them. There are a couple guys who really love his upside potential, even at the next level. Here's a guy who's gotten better each and every year. He's got good size. You saw on the one rebound, putting the ball to the floor, advancing it up. It's those types of skills that certainly have guys excited.
Bob Bevilacqua has Canisius excited, back to within 2. And by the way, thanks to our statistician Tim Ruffinen, I found out the movie title, One on One.
There you go. There you go.
1977, Robbie Benson.
All the right moves was that great football movie.
Yeah. Annette O'Toole. I love the little gadgets that these young folks carry around to be able to punch in a movie title and just find it. Castle with an air ball from the head of the key. Got to find Bobby Drinks, who's knocked down a couple of three-pointers.
Problem is, if I had the gadget, I couldn't figure out how to get it started, so it wouldn't matter.
My man Ruff finds it in about 8 seconds.
How about Bobby Bevilacqua? We're talking about him, talking him up. What's he do? Makes us look good. Knocks down a couple of threes. Canisius hanging in there.
There you see tickets still available for tomorrow's semifinals and Monday night's championship. You can call 1-800-30-EVENT or go onto the conference website at maacsports.com. Harris Mansell, who we've yet to really talk about, one of the other big options on the offensive end for Ryder, averaging 14 points per game. He has yet to get going here tonight.
Third team All MAAC selection.
Goldsberry back to Bevilacqua. Well, if you'd asked Tom Perrott at the start of the year if you'd hear me say that phrase in the quarterfinals, he'd have said, not a chance.
Absolutely not. But that's the great story, and it's a great story because he's played so well. You know, if he doesn't make shots, then nobody knows about him. Nobody talks about him. But Goldsberry draws the defense, kicks it out, and Bobby Driggs throws some water on him. He's on fire.
Well, at this rate, we are not going to have a 50-point blowout. Certainly, Canisius has come to play.
As we said, we were certainly not rooting against Ryder, but we were certainly rooting to make sure that we didn't have a 50-point blowout. And again, as we said, Tom Perrott said that turned the season around. And one thing it did, it forced him to turn to a guy like Bobby Driggs.
We are in Albany, New York at the Times Union Center, just down the road from the Capitol building of New York State. Along with Rob Kennedy, this is Doug Sherman. Well, this building has been here for 19 years, and there have been many, many storylines at MAAC tournaments over the years, but none more improbable than what Bob Bevilacqua has been able to do here this year.
And out of the timeout, Canisius mixing up the defense, showing a little 1-3-1. Made famous by a former Canisius coach, John Beeline. You're going to go zone, though. You got to make sure that you know where Harris Mansell is. 45% on the season, and those numbers are deceiving. He was down in the 30s. The way he's been shooting it lately, he's got him up to that 45%.
And you've also got to keep an eye on Ryan Thompson on the other wing. He's at 43%. They are 2 of the 5 leading three-point shooters, percentage-wise, in the conference.
One of the things I think Tom Perrott has found this weekend, though, is that Rashawn Johnson's got the ability to score it inside. If he has a good offseason, gets himself in a little bit better shape, he could be a force in this league.
Now Bevilacqua guarded by the MAAC Player of the Year, Lovett. Turnover, though. Ringgold, nice job stealing the entry pass.
And besides making layups, that's what he does. He is not a good defender. He's a great defender.
Foul given by Rashawn Johnson. And Jason Thompson will go to the line to shoot 2. Indeed, he was in the act of shooting.
As we said, Johnson's got quick feet for his size, but not quick enough to be able to hang with Jason Thompson off the bounce. Here's where Thompson faces everybody up. And now Tommy Dempsey gets him out of the post as much as possible. Said every time he's in the post, guys are beating him up. Double teams, triple teams. By taking him out onto the wing and allowing him to face up, it's much harder to run that second defender at him.
Now, this is a Ryder team that has knocked off some BCS conference opponents this year. Down in Disney early season, they, in the Old Spice Classic, defeated Penn State 82-73. Then they beat Rutgers 61-57. Then their biggest win, perhaps, was right here in this building on ESPN2, a nationally televised game, blowing out Siena on the Saints' home floor. And that was part of a huge week for Ryder, coming up the Hudson Valley and knocking off Marist out of first place, and then taking care of Siena a couple of days later, knocking the Saints out of first place. Ryder looked like it was the team to beat for a while and wound up sharing the regular season championship with Siena. Matt Griffin with the basketball, reserve point guard for the Bronx. And by the way, an unabashed Philadelphia Phillies fan. We saw him last night, decked out in all his Phillies gear.
Had the red going.
Jason Thompson now for 3.
And that gets all the scouts writing things down, because that's what he's going to have to do at the next level. Play facing up and the size to be able to shoot over top of people.
He only shoots 26% from beyond the arc, but again, you have to feel with the way he shoots the basketball, that percentage can go up, and it will.
And the way he works on it. You know, he's going to get into the gym. He's going to get tons of reps up. That's what's gotten him better each and every year.
Well, Ryder has Canisius in a tough spot right now. They've gone on a burst to open up a 10-point lead, and we've got a break in the action with 7:29 remaining. Here in the first half, Jason Thompson of the Ryder Bronx looking to move on to the MAAC semifinals. He wants to walk away on Monday night with a spot in the NCAA tournament. charter members of the Rob Kennedy fan club there for you, rooting for the Bronx here tonight. 28-18, Rider with the lead. And tomorrow a big day, not only for basketball, but also if you're a fan, as Rob and I are, of the High School Musical.
Speak for yourself.
My goodness. The voice of Troy, Drew Seeley's going to be here in this building giving the national anthem. He'll sing it before the women's game at 11 a.m. Then he will give a mini concert at halftime, and he will sign autographs during the second half of that women's title game. Tickets are still available, and if you would like to be here in the building for that, call 1-800-30-EVENT or go to MAACsports.com for more information. But the countdown is on. Drew Seeley will be here. I don't know how many hours that is, but it's not far off. 11 a.m.
Boy, did you sell that promo.
I'm well versed. Just over 7 to go first half. Goldsberry with the basketball. Nice job to get the ball into Rashawn Johnson, but he went up soft and missed short.
Went up soft and away from the big guy. You got to go right into his body. You take the basketball away, now all of a sudden you're fading away. It also gives him an opportunity to adjust and get a hand on the basketball.
That's a 10-0 run now for a Rider. Justin Robinson with 7 points. And it's a 12-point ball game.
And that was an example on the defensive end of the presence of Jason Thompson. He doesn't come up with a block shot, but just the fact that he's there and lurking behind you gets you to fade away and not go strong. You said you can't be afraid of Jason, even though he is scary the way he defends in the post. Top 20 in the country in block shots. Second in the country in rebounding behind Michael Beasley. A guy that can eat up rebounds at a tremendous rate.
And a 2-time MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, Jason Thompson. Frank Turner. Acrobatic shot, but he couldn't even get it up on the rim, and a rebound for Jason Thompson. Here's Ringgold with Goldsberry. Goldsberry able to draw the charge.
Goldsberry, one of those guys that does all the little things. Not surprising as a coach's son. He really knows how to play. And sometimes defense isn't just about quickness. It's all about being into the right position.
It's only a charge if the official says it is.
Now the off-arm, and a lot of times when you get that, that's when you get the whistle.
And credit Ringgold for not arguing. He clearly didn't like it, but just gave the ball up and headed back to the other end of the floor. 5:45 remaining first half. Bevilacqua, Goldsberry, and Turner in the backcourt for Canisius.
Ryder's done a good job of not allowing Canisius to get out and run. Frank Turner, a nice little pullback to get some space between he and Jason Thompson. That's recognizing what you got.
Yeah, well, they need some points out of Turner. He's the leading scorer at nearly 13 points per game. And as you saw, just his first 2 here tonight. Younger brother Thompson to older brother Thompson, and Jason will go back to the line. Johnson with another foul on the arm.
And that's how they have to get the ball to Jason Thompson in the post. You got to make sure that he's a moving target. Get good space. He's not sitting in the post the whole time. He's going to come running into the post. And by doing that now, it's tough to figure out where the double team's coming from.
And truly, what can you do if you've got Rashawn Johnson at 6'6", giving up that much size and skill, because Jason is obviously more than just tall. What can you do if you're Canisius?
It certainly makes it difficult to keep it out of his hands when he's a moving target like that. Again, when he just sits in the post and goes block to block, now all of a sudden you can get some weak side help. You can make sure that you step off the guy with the basketball on the post feed. But when he comes running into the post, I'm not sure what you can do. Lesa at times thinks that the basketball is one of those homing devices. He just chases that thing down.
Foul called against Jason Thompson after a terrific spin move by Rashawn Johnson.
Well, that's the way you stop him. Sit him down as he picks up his second foul. Remember, he picked up the one offensive foul. This time, though, credit Johnson, because he doesn't go away. Instead, he goes right at him. Even though it looked like it may have been a good block, you force the official to make a judgment. Whistle or no whistle.
And there were some of the quick moves. Nice feet by Rashawn Johnson to earn himself a trip to the line.
The offseason will obviously be important for him and this entire Canisius program. They're really young. They've got all these freshmen playing big minutes, and that's going to help you in the long run if you start making sure that you complete your game. You take a look at guys. Frazier, great athlete, but doesn't have enough perimeter skills to keep you honest. Logans at times floats outside. So this offseason, so important for Tom Parada and this Canisius program. Guys got to really make sure that they dedicate themselves to working on their weaknesses and try and get their games to be a little bit more complete.
And there is one of those rookies replacing one of the other ones you talk about, Rob. And there's another member of that freshman class, Elton Frazier, who is a first-year player out of Corcoran High School in Syracuse, who scored 22 points, by the way, in that blowout loss at Rider. He had almost half of Canisius's points in that epic loss. So he is certainly a guy who's capable, and athletically, he is as good as anybody in this conference.
That's a double-edged sword of potential. And they've got a lot of guys with good potential, but you've got to realize that and start being performers and not guys that they keep saying, hey, he's going to be good. By next year, they're going to have to start being good.
Oh, by the way, you've got Lamar Johnson coming off the bench for Rider. He's a sharpshooter out of Scranton, PA, and his first three-point shot is good.
What we say, Vinnie Johnson about Hassel before? Nobody can catch on fire quicker than Johnson can.
Well, back in the first game this year between these two teams, he came off the bench with 21 points. So lots of potential out there. Robinson back out to Harris Mansell. 33-21. Rider, the number 2 seed here in the MAAC tournament, with the lead over the 10th seeded Griffs from Canisius. Ryan Thompson rejected. Vasquez Simmons, number 2 in the conference behind Jason Thompson in block shots, gets up with a big smile on his face. He is a quick riser. Frank Turner splits the defense and lays it in.
And he's the quick driver, getting by people right to the rim.
So with Jason Thompson on the bench with 2 fouls, can Canisius cut into the deficit? Not giving up layups as easily as that.
No, you got to step up and get some stops if you're going to get yourself back into the ballgame. But this is when they need to do it. You got Jason sitting down. You got to make hay.
Pavel Malesa with a contested 3. And Rider back the other way.
And Tom Parada, as soon as he missed that, went looking for somebody on the bench to throw in there. That was a quick one.
Meanwhile, Johnson gets a much better look, and he buries it.
And he's one of those guys, he can score 20 or 30 points off the bench, has 6 quick ones off 2 threes. Nice little luxury for Tommy Dempsey to throw Johnson in there and see what he's going to get.
Turner blocked by both Ringgold and Johnson. Canisius keeps possession. Media timeout. We'll take a break from the Times Union Center in Albany. The Rider Broncs eyeballing a spot in tomorrow night's MAAC semifinals.
St. Peter's College, success is a team effort. St. Peter's College, education one student at a time.
Back in Albany, just 2:39 away from halftime, and coming up on our MAAC halftime report, our MAAC men's awards. We'll also have a tournament update and our first half highlights and statistics. Rider trying to make it into the semifinal round, our afternoon affair. Saw no upsets. The 1 and 4 seeds have moved into tomorrow's Final Four. Loyola won today's first quarterfinal. Then Siena took care of the second game. And Rider looking to keep the chalk alive here in game number 3.
Rider showing zone, and Goldsberry hanging out at the high post. And then vacates to go find himself on the wing.
3 to shoot. Goldsberry, or rather Bevilacqua, misfires. Turner gets away with a little push-off for the offensive rebound. And he's got a chance for a three-point play. So Harris Mansell gets the foul after he was cleared out on the little push.
As you said, got away with a little bump underneath. Tommy Dempsey looking for the call. Instead, he got the call he wasn't looking for.
Yep.
As Turner able to go find contact. Deceptive upper body strength for Turner. They list him at 5'10". That's a bit generous, but he's a guy that plays bigger than that.
Well, he is the captain of this club and helped to spearhead the big upset at the Kessler Center when they defeated Niagara earlier this year, their arch rivals, in front of a packed house. And Turner said, quote, "This means everything." That's how important it was for them. And wins were hard to come by throughout the regular season for the Griffs, but here they are in the quarterfinal round of the tournament.
Well, Mansell tried to take the smaller guard into the post. Got a good shot, just didn't finish.
Sean Johnson has it taken away by Ringgold.
As we said, he's a great defender. The other great thing about him is he's an interchangeable defender. He can guard your post, he can guard your point guard, doesn't matter.
Indeed, I was glad to see him make the All-MAAC rookie team. Harris Mansell seems to have been hit from behind and clutching that ankle in front of the Canisius bench. Goldsberry was flying, Ringgold flying. Everybody was trying to grab the loose ball before it went out of bounds as we take another look. Look at Tom Parada heading out.
You see the clip from behind. That one hurt.
Goldsberry is called for his second foul. And Goldsberry took quite a shot as well.
Yep, but that's a good call by the officials. One of those points of emphasis. Guys going for loose balls, not able to take people out. Let's see Harris Mansell in obvious pain.
He is a junior from Cheltenham, Pennsylvania, 6'3", 215. And we'll take another look. See Goldsberry come flying in like he's shot out of a cannon and catches Mansell from behind by surprise. Mansell now on his feet, and he will likely head, if not just over to the Rider bench, but perhaps into the locker room. And so, since he was fouled, he could have been going to the free throw line. Instead, you've got the big fella, Jason Thompson, at 58% coming off the bench to shoot. What do you think about that?
Well, a bit surprising, not just because of his foul shooting numbers, but because he's got the 2 fouls. You got to make sure you're going to keep him on the floor. He can't pick up another foul. Well, it's funny, too. I think this is a situation where Tommy Dempsey's not necessarily thinking about right here and right now, but starting to think about the next 2 days. Jason Thompson has really struggled shooting the ball from the foul line. This from a guy who was a good foul shooter a year ago. That's one of those things where it's in the head. So I think that's a sign where he's saying, I'm not worried about right here, right now. We're trying to win 3 games. I may need Jason Thompson to hit big foul shots coming down the stretch either tomorrow night or Monday night. Let me send him in and shoot those.
Robert Goldsberry hits the 3. Canisius with the 5 3-pointers to help hang around. Back within 10.
That's one thing that can neutralize you if you're not as good a team, but you knock down some threes and stay in the ball game.
Nice box out by Tomas Vasquez Simmons. Then a reach-in foul called against Griffin.
Much like Goldsberry, the coach's son, same for Matt Griffin, son of former Siena head coach John Griffin, former St. Joe's head coach as well. Good hustle going to the floor, but a little contact from behind.
Another Siena connection coming back into the ball game for Rider. Joel Green, he began his career here at the Times Union Center. He played his freshman year for Siena before transferring out and ultimately winding up back a little closer to home at Rider University. He made the All-MAAC academic team this year. Bevilacqua being hounded by Griffin. 35 seconds left in the half. Turner still with the dribble. Nice block by Ryan Thompson. Plenty of time. Still pushing tempo, though. Griffin. That's a 2. It's no good, but Ryan Thompson keeping after the play, and he gets the easy tip in.
And that's what happens when you get up in transition, spread them out. Guys are rushing out to the three-point shooter. What happens? Open lanes to the offensive board.
And so Frank Turner probably looking to penetrate and perhaps find someone open on the wing with 3 seconds to go in the half. Turner kicks it out. Goldsberry with the 3 at the buzzer. And it's no good. The end of the first half. And Ryder leading Canisius as you'd expect, but it has been a relatively competitive first half at 41-29. Jason Thompson heads into the locker room, having scored 9 points to lead the Bronx. They are looking to move from the quarterfinal round into the semifinal round if they can beat the Griffs tonight. We'll have it back when we come back. 17:39 to go. Tommy Dempsey, the MAAC Coach of the Year, but his Bronx see their lead slip to 5.
On the shores of the Hudson River and on the forefront of technology is where you'll find Marist College. For more than 60 years, Marist professors, students, and alumni have been making an impact beyond the classroom, shaping the future and respecting the past. Through our partnerships, internships, and initiatives with some of the nation's leading companies, Marist College prepares students for a full and successful life filled with opportunity. And it all begins here at Marist College.
1.5 minutes later, it's a 5-point ball game, and let's show you how the Golden Griffins have gotten so golden at the offensive end.
Well, it's been child's play for them as they've been able to score on all 4 possessions. The guy involved in just about all of those, Frank Turner, getting into the lane, putting pressure on the defense, finding Logans, who's knocked down 2 shots as well, and a couple out on the break. And just like that, Canisius down 12 at the half. They've been able to fight their way back into it. Tom Parada's team down by just 5.
So Turner, Logans, Turner on those first 4 field goals. They are 4 for 4 here in the second half, and Turner involved in 3 of those 4. He also assisted on the Logans layup. Again, they go to Logans. Wow, foul number 3 on Jason Thompson. Logans getting it done. We've got a 3-point game with a chance to get it down to 2.
And let's re-rack the package. Add a 5th one onto it. 5 possession, 5 scores. Logan's going to the other side. Remember, he's a lefty, able to finish at that side. Jason Thompson trying to challenge, doesn't get the ball. Instead, gets the arm, and all of a sudden, some concern on Tommy Dempsey's face.
Yeah, the collar gets a little bit tighter for the number 2 seeds from Ryder.
Remember, Harris Mansell sitting on the bench, and as we said, if you have the opportunity to rest him, you go ahead and take advantage of that. All of a sudden, lo and behold, it's a 2-point game. May not have that luxury before long.
And this is the closest the ball game has been since 2018, midway through the first half.
The one thing about this Ryder team, they've been a very mature team all season long. And their win in their final game at home against Fairfield was one of those statement games that really shows that.
Great ball movement to find Ryan Thompson for the dunk.
And when you're mature, what do? You execute on the offensive end. That's how you stop runs.
What do you think about Jason Thompson still being on the floor with the 3 fouls, Rob?
3 fouls right now. You just got to play through it. Well, I think you keep him on the floor. Don't allow Canisius to all of a sudden think they can win this ball game.
Both Ryan and Jason Thompson with 11 points each. The lead back up to 4 for Ryder. Bevilacqua to Hassel. Trying to work on Ringgold, and there you go. He can be a post defender or guard the lightning quick 5'9" guard.
Oh, and there's Jason Thompson being aggressive despite the fact that he's got those 3 fouls. 3 seconds left to go on the clock. Tommy Dempsey said that's a little bit too close for comfort. I like him being aggressive, but I don't want that 4th foul.
That's officially the first block for Jason Thompson. So Robbie Myers comes in with 3 seconds on the shot clock for Canisius.
And a lot of times you'd be able to play through him, but the way Logan's being aggressive inside and outside, that's why you got to get him out of the game. And Canisius, how about this one? Right back in it. Remember, folks, this is a Canisius team that lost earlier in the regular season at Ryder, 102-51. Wow.
And right now they're down just a point, 4 minutes into the second half. Cam Warner with the jumper to make it a 3-point ball game.
Warner, one of those unsung seniors, you know, you were talking about yesterday. Who are some of those guys that kind of fly under the radar screen that maybe step up and make some important plays for their team, not wanting their careers to end?
Turner starting to feel it, but he couldn't get it to fall. Here comes Ryan Thompson for the Bronx. Had it knocked away. Bevilacqua gets it, and up ahead to Logans. What a second half already for the freshman out of Sodus, New York. 15 points just like that, and it's again down to a 1-point ball game.
And they've got all those casual fans in the building are now Canisius Griffin fans, especially those fans from Niagara as well as Marist. You know that they're going to be rooting for blue.
Turner in those gold sneakers stepped out of bounds, and it'll be Rider basketball when we come back.
Can't hide them with those gold shoes.
But the crowd here at the Times Union Center smelling an upset. 13 of those 17 second half points scored by Canisius from Greg Logans. He has all of a sudden got 15 points, and just like that, Canisius is right back in the ball game, down a point.
Not only has he scored it, as you see, Canisius 7 of 9 from the floor. 2 of those misses on the same possession, so 7 out of 8 as far as possessions are concerned, scoring the basketball. But not only has the big guy Logan scored it inside, but he's gone right at Jason Thompson, which has put Thompson on the bench with 3 fouls.
And he is still on the bench. Robbie Myers playing center for Rider, little used sophomore out of Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. Sean Johnson has come back in for Canisius. Johnson, terrific move. Rather, Robinson with a terrific move. He's now got 9.
And a very efficient game for Robinson. Had the first bucket of the game. Doesn't take a whole lot of shots, but he's been efficient. 4 of 6 from the field.
Harris Mansell has come to the scorer's table for Rider, so he has been out with an ankle injury. Looks like he's ready to come back in. And I wonder if Canisius hadn't gotten back in the ball game, like you said, Rob, would we have seen Harris Mansell again?
I don't think so. But now you need him back in because of his calming influence. Able to get the ball inside against the zone defense. Logans, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, he's been able to find space in the paint.
Foul on Ringgold, his second. And so Logans will go back to the line. He has been the go-to guy for the Golden Griffins here in the second half. A 6'7", 240-pound freshman. Attended the Kent School before arriving at Canisius College. And he has all the makings, the look of an impact player in the MAAC for the next 3 years.
Well, the thing is, as you said, they were riding him coming down the stretch. 3 out of the last 5 games, he was the MAAC Rookie of the Week. And despite that strong finish, he still didn't find himself on that 5-man all-rookie team.
1 out of 2 from the line. Harris Mansell the rebound. Yeah, Greg Logans, the final 5 games of the season, averaged 17 points per game. He had 9 points and 7 rebounds in last night's first-round victory as Canisius upset Iona. Joel Green gets the bounce, and he will head to the line.
Well, as you said, a former Siena player, so he knows these rims. Got the friendly home bounce on that one.
Well, he was recruited to Siena by former Saints head coach Rob Lanier, now an assistant coach under Billy Donovan at the University of Florida. And Joel Green left after 1 year, and like you say, remembers something about getting a friendly role here at the Times Union Center.
And think about some of those Saints who have left and what they're doing across the country. Jack McClinton at Miami, scoring at a tremendous pace. Coach O'Mensah out at Duquesne with a terrific season. And how about Al Fisher, one of the reasons why the Kent State Golden Flashes have found themselves in the top 25. Right now he's a definite candidate for MAAC, the other MAAC player of the year for Kent State.
Yeah, I had forgotten about
a lot of people
Fisher.
did. Yep.
Tay Fisher, the only remaining member of that class that came in together with so much promise. Vasquez Simmons with the layup.
A lot of promise for this freshman class for Canisius.
Block shot by Vasquez Simmons, but he's called for the foul, so Justin Robinson will shoot free throws. Hey, fans, don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets for the Citizens Bank MAAC Basketball Championships. Now through Monday, we are immersed in it. Quarterfinal number 3. We've got the semis tomorrow and the finals on Monday night. And if you'd like to be part of the fun, you can buy tickets by calling 1-800-30-EVENT or go to MAACsports.com for more information. And that foul on Vasquez Simmons, his third. Robinson shooting 2.
Oh, if your star player's sitting on the bench, Tommy Dempsey needs to get some scoring from some different places. He's gotten it so far tonight from Justin Robinson, their steady point guard who's picked it up, and he's now in double figures.
Turner, Goldsberry, Bevilacqua, Logans, and Vasquez Simmons on the floor for the Golden Griffins in their road blue uniforms. And when you are the number 10 seed in a tournament, you don't have to bring your home uni.
Nope, they'll be blue the entire time. They're hoping they get a chance to wash them a few times this weekend.
Turner kicked to Goldsberry. I like the unselfishness of Turner, but he had an open look potentially from the foul line, and Goldsberry couldn't knock down the 3. Robinson fouled on the drive to the basket.
They're going to have to start defending him. Bobby Drinks knocked down 3s throughout that first half, but right now he's getting beaten to the lane time and time again as Robinson's been able to turn the corner.
Justin Robinson did not grow up in the United States. He is from London, England, although he did go to prep school in the state of New Jersey at Blair Academy. How long do you keep Jason Thompson on the bench with his 3 fouls, Rob?
Probably just to the next media timeout.
Another couple of minutes?
Yeah, a couple of minutes, but you got to get him on the floor and get him playing. Think of another Blair Academy player from England, Luell Deng. He was a pretty good player. Still is.
Wasn't bad. Although his team not having that much success right now in the NBA. Goldsberry from the foul line. We saw that last night, finding the gap in that zone.
And what they do is they do a good job of getting into that foul line area, and then vacating and getting out. So he's not a standing target at the high post, but comes in and out.
And Goldsberry is not your prototypical high post player, but he certainly has capitalized on his opportunities here this weekend. Ringgold, no. Green with the putback. Going up and over Vasquez Simmons. And Joel Green with a couple of buckets here in the second half.
And again, a unsuspecting little burst from Green coming off the bench.
One of those seniors that you just wonder how it's going to close out. Logan's a freshman having a tremendous second half. Now 16 of his 18 points in the last 7.5 minutes.
He's playing like an NBA guy, huh? All of a sudden you're saying, who's that guy? Stepping up with a big second half.
Where was he in the first half? Only played 5 minutes and had just 2 points. Turner knocks the ball out of bounds. It'll be Rider possession with 12:15 remaining in regulation.
So he had fresh legs for Tom Prada. Was on the bench there throughout the first half. And that good quick bounce to his step. And here comes Jason Thompson. Tommy Dempsey decided not to wait to the next media timeout. Get him back in. Again, the longer you allow Canisius to hang around, the more potentially dangerous it becomes.
Well, you certainly get the sense that Canisius believe. We have seen them pull a couple of big upsets this year. Knocked off their arch rival Niagara. Beat Albany, a 2-time defending America East Conference champion, in the bracket buster game, and trying to pull off what might be the biggest upset for them all year.
No bite about that. It would definitely be their biggest upset.
Turner bouncing around Jason Thompson.
And you got to go at him again. He's got the 3 fouls, so force him to either back away or force him to maybe make a play on him.
That's 5'10", going around 6'11". Jason Thompson gets his own miss back and brings it out to Harris Mansell. Goldsberry fighting for the ball. Logan's pass deflected out of bounds, and that will take us to break. But Frank Turner and the Canisius Golden Griffins are hanging around. They are down by 2, and the sophomore captain out of Atlantic City, New Jersey, going right at and around the MAAC Player of the Year.
What does it take to be a leader? A strong foundation to understand the challenges of our world. The vision to inspire others. The desire to make a difference. Jesuit education at Loyola. Preparing tomorrow's leaders today.
Well, Well, so far it's been a stunner. Canisius hanging in there with Ryder and a bunch of different guys making plays. We'll take you inside a play as we're going to see how they attack the zone defense. You're going to see right here, against zone, you got to get 2 guys to play 1. That's the key, and here's how we get it. Goldsberry, coach's son, he's got a good basketball IQ. Gets himself into the lane, and as he kicks it out, frees it. Right here, you've got a little 3-2 zone set up by Ryder with the 2 guys on the back line. Where's the open spot? Going to be right here at the high post. Let it run. He dives into the high post. Who's going to guard him? You force guys to make a decision. By the time Green gets up, the ball's out of his hands, makes a play. Look where he goes right there, back to the high post, on the kick out, and oh my goodness.
Bobby Drinks gives Canisius, the 10 seed, the lead over the co-regular season champs from Ryder.
Here's where Ryder has said they've been mature all season long. Here's where they got to show the maturity. And if that guy's in the game, he's got to get touches. You can't bring him back in with those 3 fouls and not throw the ball to him each and every possession. Play through Jason.
Canisius already has more field goals here in the second half than they had the entire first half, 12-11. Turner now working the high post, stepping back and misfiring. Jason Thompson the rebound.
Long arm of the law. But here you got to wait for him to get back in. He's got to get touches. Play through him.
Griffin cut off by Turner. Back out to Harris Mansell, playing on a bad ankle. A lot of standing around right now for Ryder. Under 10 to shoot. Griffin has it knocked away by Turner, and Jason Thompson from 21 feet. Logan's with the rebound.
Maybe not the touch that you wanted from the big guy. Even though he's knocked down 2 threes, that one was deep. But as you said, standing around, not the same continuity and not the same fluid offense that we've seen throughout this season from Ryder. We're starting to play a little tight, Doug.
Indeed, and you know, it's really been a quiet night for Ryan Thompson, the younger brother of Jason. Second team All-League, could have made the first team, and he's got his 11 points, but he has not nearly put his imprint on this game as he does oh so often. Mansell the steal from Turner. Speed-wise, there's not a chance of Mansell going around Turner in that situation. But he secures the ball, and here comes Ryan Thompson, fouled by Bevilacqua.
Even if he didn't have the bad ankle, he's not blown by Turner. Turner, one of the quickest guys in the MAAC, especially in the open floor.
Second foul on Bevilacqua.
One of the few mistakes here in this second half by Turner. Trying to make a pass. The only way that's getting through is on a bounce pass. But he doesn't put his head down. Instead, rushes back to make sure that Ryder doesn't get an easy basket.
Turner is 4th in the conference in assists per game. Goldsberry with a hand in the face of Mansell, making it tough. And last to touch the ball before it goes out of bounds, Ryan Thompson. Well, you know, Frank Turner with those assists, averaging 4.5 per game. That's for the last place team in the conference, and one that doesn't score very often, as we see again as the ball goes out of bounds and stays with the Griffs. That's a tough thing to do, to get that many assists with a team where you don't have that many offensive options.
And Ryder again into the zone defense, partly to try and protect Jason Thompson with those fouls, but it allows Canisius to kind of settle in. And by doing that, they can take their time and now pound the basketball inside. So you understand why they're playing zone, but it's as well starting to play into Canisius' hands and into their favor.
Logan's within 3 of his career high, scored 23 in the regular season finale against Niagara. Mansell misfiring again, and if he's not knocking down his 3 with a bad ankle, might you be better off getting somebody else in there?
I know what you're better off. Getting Jason Thompson, an NBA first-round draft pick, a couple touches in scoring positions. Last 3 possessions, the only time he's gotten a touch was 30 feet from the basket.
Rashawn Johnson has come back in for Canisius, replacing Logan's. Turner from the foul line hits over Thompson.
Well, he had Thompson. He knows he's got the quickness. Little juke to get him backed up, get some separation, and there's no question Canisius is starting to believe that they've got an opportunity to wear those blue uniforms another time.
There is your first-round pick, Jason Thompson, getting in close for the easy 2.
Not hard to figure that one out. I think you could ask that question to anybody in the building. What do you think you got to do now?
And so now the captain of the Ryder Bronx with 15 points.
And here's where he's got to step up and be a pro. Be a guy that's the MAAC Player of the Year. Take the game over. But again, in the zone to protect him, but what it's doing is it's protecting Canisius a bit.
Hassel off the up fake. A Rider player is on the floor injured as play continues 5-on-4. And there you see laying over by the baseline. Is that Ryan Thompson? Indeed it is, and he was laying motionless for quite a while play continued.
See, he lifted up his head there, so that's a good sign. I did not see what happened.
But you could see he was indifferent to the play that was going on around him. Sometimes when you're injured and on the floor, you're concerned with the action and not being stepped on, but he was not concerned with that. We'll take a break while Ryan Thompson is tended to here at the Times Union Center in Albany.
You are lucky. There is more life in front of you than there is behind you. Make the most of it. Find a cure. Lead a company. Teach children to read. Shoot the three. Matter. Iona College. Earn a degree that matters.
61, and Ryan Thompson just now getting to his feet after taking an elbow to the chin by Rashawn Johnson, and you can see he is a bit woozy, and we will take another look and see how it happened. Look in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. He is the backside defender, and that elbow right there is what knocked Thompson down, and whether he was out or not, we're not sure, but it certainly did not look good. And there's the other angle to see his legs wobble, and he was down for the count.
And it was an inadvertent whistle. Johnson just trying to get his arms up and shape up for positioning inside. The trainer tending to him on the sideline. You see he's talking right now. That's always a good sign as well.
Indeed. In the meantime, we can tell you about the baseball championships for the MAAC coming up at Waterfront Park in Trenton, New Jersey in May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. You can buy tickets by calling 609-394-3300 or go to MAACsports.com for more information. And Ryan Thompson now engaging with the trainer on the Rider bench, conversing, all a good sign, but he certainly seems to be out of it still.
And how about you go all season long if your Rider relatively healthy and you've already lost Harris Mansell for a few minutes at the end of the first half and beginning of the second half, and now it looks like you're going to lose Ryan Thompson for a little while. Your hope is A, that he's okay, and B, that even if he doesn't get an opportunity to get back into the game tonight, if you win, you're hoping that he's available tomorrow and maybe even past that into Monday. But they can't be worrying about tomorrow or Monday. They're going to start worrying about today, and they get an offensive foul call off the basketball on Jason Thompson.
So everything going wrong for the Bronx right now.
When it rains, it pours. Thompson trying to clear out space, and Goldsberry steps in his play. I'll tell you what, that is awful. I don't usually say that, but that is just awful. All Goldsberry's trying to do right there is get a cheap foul on Thompson, and he got the officials to buy into it. He's going to have to play through with the contact. If you're Canisius, pound it inside. Don't be throwing up wild threes like that.
Patrick Mansell has come into the ball game, the younger brother of Harris Mansell, and so you've lost Jason Thompson to 4 fouls. You've lost Ryan Thompson to some sort of head injury, sitting on the bench being treated. So there's your top 2 scorers, Thompson brothers on the bench. And your third leading scorer, Harris Mansell, with only 5 points tonight, playing on a bum ankle, suffered an injury in the first half. And there the pass goes off the back of number 22 and out of bounds.
And here all of a sudden they're starting to fall apart. Again, this is a mature group as Thompson sits down, and Tommy Dempsey, the MAAC Coach of the Year, is going to have to do a good job right here trying to figure out where to be able to put the basketball. How about Canisius? Just 6 turnovers here tonight. A team that's kicked it around all season long. 17 turnovers per game coming into the tournament.
Goldsberry's pass knocked away. Joel Green saves to Harris Mansell.
Well, he needed to go into the paint the last possession when Thompson was still on the floor with those 4 fouls.
And now Robinson down with an ankle injury as Ryder retakes the lead on the 3 by Harris Mansell.
Oh my goodness. Wow. What started out as a great weekend for Ryder, as Jason Thompson was honored as the MAAC Player of the Year and Tommy Dempsey was honored as the MAAC Coach of the Year, has turned into a nightmare here. Canisius hanging around and Ryder falling down. Just a freak play right there, stepping on the foot. And we've seen a couple of freak plays. Mansell got his feet kind of clipped from behind as Goldsberry just making a good hustle play. Went into the paint. Goldsberry's been involved with everything. He rolled it. Tough play right there. Wow. Inadvertent elbow to Ryan Thompson that knocked him to the floor. Just a string of bad luck so far for the Bronx. Guess the horseshoe's turning down and not up, huh?
That is a very good point. So now Harris Mansell is going to have to take that leadership role. The junior is trying to gather up the troops and saying, hey, we got to hang on here and win this for the Thompsons.
And, you know, the other guy that's been a leader all season long, surprisingly, Matt Griffin. Surprising because A, he's a freshman, B, he's a backup guard that doesn't play a lot. But Tommy Dempsey and his staff say he's got great leadership qualities. He's on the floor now. He's going to have to step up and be one of those unsung heroes. Somebody better find Goldsberry in the high post against the zone or get out of the zone and start playing man.
Here is Griffin. Under 6 minutes to go. No number 10 seed in MAAC tournament history has reached the semifinals. Canisius down by 2, trying to make history.
And this is a 10 seed that won just 2 MAAC games during the regular season.
Harris Mansell being more proactive, driving to the basket and drawing the foul.
And you can get leadership from a number of different guys, but the guy that's going to lead you as far as making plays and scoring the basketball has to be Harris Mansell.
Well, you know, Rob, this is a dangerous combination for Tommy Dempsey's club. On the occasion that he has had to have both Thompson brothers on the bench simultaneously, I have seen, like in the Old Spice Classic, those 3 games that they played early in the year, things can really go bad in a hurry. You need one or both of them on the floor for all that they do. So this is really walking on a slippery slope if you're the Bronx.
And this is a gut check. When Canisius won last night, everybody, me included, thought that that was a huge break of good luck for Ryder. That good luck, and as I said, that horseshoe is turned completely upside down.
Big block shot by Joel Green. He and Logan's now jawing after that one. Logan's has had the huge second half, 18 of his 20 points coming since the break, and Joel Green this time denies him.
Yeah, make the block and move on. Your team's up by 4 against the 10 seed. I don't think you've got anything to be jawing about.
Logan's obviously feeling his oats. 66-62, Ryder with the lead, and Harris Mansell nearly with a steal on Vasquez Simmons.
And Vasquez got away with the grab to hold him away from coming up with the basketball. There's that high post. Boy, I'll tell you what, get out of the zone defense. It's not working. What it's doing is it's allowing Canisius to hang around. Played zone for a while to try and protect Jason Thompson. He's on the bench.
Frank Turner picks the pocket of Griffin, and we're tied again, 66 apiece with 5 minutes to play.
And they need a timeout right now. They need to regroup. And boy, they go without using it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're staying in the zone. I'm surprised they didn't take a timeout to try and just settle things down and regroup.
Harris Mansell again trying to take things in his own hands, driving to the bucket and drawing the foul. 66-66. Third foul on Bevilacqua. Frank Turner, the sophomore captain of the Griffs, coming up with a huge play to retie the ball game.
Well, the quickness right there as Griffin tried to go behind his back. And that's where losing Robinson, the guy who's been your primary ball handler all season long, that's where you miss him.
So now Jason Thompson comes back into the ball game.
And this is why you got to get out of the zone. Canisius is getting wide open looks. Again, you're the better team. Come at him, challenge him, get back to the man-to-man defense. You went zone to protect Jason Thompson. He's been on the bench. Now he's back in. Let's see if they go back to the zone.
Well, that's what you were talking about earlier. And if Ryder does not go into Jason Thompson every single time from here to the end of the game, I'll be stunned.
Yep. Now they're back in the zone again. You can understand why, to protect Jason Thompson. But when he was on the bench, there was no reason to be in the zone.
Goldsberry, Turner, and Bevilacqua around the perimeter for Canisius, looking to pull off the biggest upset in tournament history. The MAAC tournament, again, has never had a 10 seed reach the semis. Turner nearly turned it over. Instead, gets it out to Logans, who misses the three. So Ryder up a point with the ball back.
And here's where Thompson, anybody takes a shot without him getting a touch in the post. That's a problem. Now he's got to make a play. Can't be too unselfish.
Give and go. Is it going to be a charge? No, it's a reach-in foul. Dangerous for a moment. You had to hold your breath as the Canisius defender went flying.
And that was dangerous. That was closer to a charge right here than the earlier play. But good call. Logans was not there.
Third foul on Logans. And so now Thompson to the line, a 58% foul shooter on the year.
Not quite the day that I think Tommy Dempsey was thinking he was going to have. Not the day that Jason Thompson thought he was going to have. Neutralized by foul trouble.
4 minutes left in regulation.
That's the one part of his game that he has struggled with all season long after shooting it so well last year from the foul line.
Jason Thompson rebounds the Goldsberry miss.
And if they run through him and he's not able to convert from the line, you get a little hack-a-shack coming down the stretch.
Thompson looking to post on Logans. Harris Mansell gives it to Thompson.
Remember, Mansell, a guy that's not afraid to take big shots.
15 to shoot. Thompson spins, hangs, and can't get the roll. It comes out. There's Ringgold blocked by Vasquez Simmons, but Jason Thompson puts it in, and another injury. This time it's a Canisius Golden Griffin on the floor. And it is Logans.
And not just any Griffin, it's Logans, the guy that's carried him throughout this second half. Jason Thompson gets the touch, and not in the low post. Smart move, letting him make a play off the bounce. Gets his hand on the first one to keep it alive, and gets his hand on it again to finish it.
We'll step away. 3:17 left in this third quarterfinal. The co-champs being pushed to the limit.
Fairfield University is among the nation's top-ranked Jesuit universities and a valuable resource to the region. Graduating students who are well prepared to make meaningful and lasting contributions to the greater community. Students of all ages choose Fairfield University for its convenient location, flexible schedules, and its dynamic learning environment anchored in the time-honored values of a Jesuit education. Discover the treasure that is Fairfield University.
What are you looking for in a college? Cutting-edge academic programs, a faculty that's second to none, great recreational opportunities and residence halls? How about a college that will provide you with the education you need to become a leader in your profession and in your community? If that's what you're looking for in a college, you'll find it at Canisius. To learn more about Canisius College, call 1-800-843-1517 or visit us on the web at canisius.edu. Canisius College, where leaders are made.
The MAAC Women's Championship game is tomorrow here at the TU Center at 11 a.m. And Drew Seeley of High School Musical will be singing the anthem before the game, giving a mini concert at halftime, and signing autographs in the second half. And if you'd like to be a part of it, buy tickets at 1-800-30-EVENT or go to MAACsports.com for more information. Bevilacqua, Goldsberry, Turner, Vasquez Simmons, and Robinson trying to make MAAC tournament history. Goldsberry out-rebounds Thompson for the ball.
Goldsberry and Bobby Drinks making big plays. They're going to have to with Logan's on the bench with that twisted ankle.
Goldsberry uses the screen but misses the runner. And it's Ryder basketball.
Missed opportunity there. Got himself deep into the lane.
Robert Goldsberry's father, Frank, is the director of basketball operations for the women at the University of Dayton, and he certainly plays with a basketball IQ that makes you think he grew up in a basketball family. Now back into the game. Good to see Greg Logans, who went out with an injury a couple of minutes ago. He has had that huge second half to help the Griffs get right back in this ball game.
18 points here in the second half, and one of the reasons why Canisius shooting it so much better here in the second half, 62% to get back in the ball game.
Griffin guarded by Turner, and he threw it away.
That's where they miss Robinson. Talked about the fact that they really like the leadership qualities of MAAC Griffin. Well, he's turned it over a couple of times. Not what you need from your point guard late in a close ball game.
And so Bevilacqua and Turner bring it up. And again, there's Goldsberry from the high post.
And forced to have Jason Thompson come up and bother him at the high post.
Bevilacqua for three. He's got it. Tied again at 69.
Get out of the zone. You got to not worry about the fact that Jason Thompson has those four fouls, and you got to get out and guard people. Make Canisius make plays instead of making them make open shots. High post, look at Jason Thompson. He's guarding 15 feet from the basket. Completely out of position. This is a guy, the most dominant post guy. And then because you're in the zone, the extra pass. And what can Bobby Drinks do? He can drain open threes. Not guarded threes, but open threes.
Tom Parada and his Canisius Golden Griffins tied at 69 with the regular season co-champs from Ryder. The Bronx are 21-9. The Golden Griffins are 6-24. But in the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Bevilacqua and company could make MAAC tournament history.
And as you said, how about writing some history? A walk-on, a guy who didn't have his name on the back of his jersey before the season started, a guy who still doesn't have the gold shoes. Well, he's got the shooting touch here, especially against that zone.
No golden shoes, but the golden touch. Under 2 minutes to go here in this third MAAC quarterfinal.
Now Jason Thompson trying to make him a moving target. Now he sits in the post.
Jason Thompson lost it on the way up. Picking it up, Harris Mansell, and he has played big here late in the second half.
Well, when you talk to Tommy Dempsey, he says, hey, with the game on the line, as good as the Thompson brothers are, the guy I want taking big shots is Harris Mansell. Usually it's an outside shot. Instead, Mansell gets inside, fights through the contact. Huge play right there.
Harris Mansell now with 13 points. Tommy Dempsey has 4 players in double figures, but Justin Robinson on the bench with an ankle injury with his 13 points. Wow. And Ryan Thompson out with some sort of head injury with his 11 points.
And how about Ryder? If they lose this ball game, all you got to do is look to the foul line. 14 of 24 from beyond the line.
Turner. He gets the roll and tied again, 71 apiece. 19 now for Turner. And let's take a listen to what both head coaches are saying during this break.
Tomas is coming to block his shot. You gotta sit down on the big.
There's the guy. Now, anytime with this dribble lead, drop the head in hand and take this away. Watch that bounce pass coming for a layup.
Watch the back door, Robert.
It's their possession. Their possession. Let me have 2 timeouts left. One.
Harris, 2 hard dribble. Back to Jay. You and Mike now in a stagger for Griff. Griff, fly out the stagger. Mike, turn and flare for Harris. Okay, Pat, after Jay hands it to Harris, just back screen him in the post. So we have you up the flare, Jay coming to the post on the same side.
Now setting up the 2-man game and the 2 guys he wants involved with it. Harris Mansell coming on a little flare screen. His ability to make big shots and then getting Jason Thompson into the post, but not just sitting in the post, making him a moving target. Let's see if it works.
90 seconds left in regulation, and the 6'11 center dribbles it up. In they go to Jason Thompson.
Surprised they didn't give up the foul on him in there. I would have taken a chance. Put him to the line. Don't let him beat you inside.
Patrick Mansell hits the 3.
It's not Harris, it's his brother Patrick. A team of brothers stepping up. That's the way to share the basketball. How about that?
So Canisius trying to answer. Vasquez Simmons unable to cut it to within one. And so now Canisius going to try and turn over Griffin. Turner after the freshman point guard, and a timeout called by Ryder.
And you don't have to give up the foul. You can play the possession straight, but if Jason Thompson gets the basketball, I say give up the foul.
Ryder basketball with timeout on the floor. And again, 2 of the 5 Ryder starters are out with injury, and Jason Thompson playing with 4 fouls.
Well, we saw what they were diagramming up. I thought it was going to be a 2-man game. Well, instead, that didn't happen. Kicks it out to Patrick Mansell. And how about this one? On that shot, he's above his season average. Averages 2.8 points per game.
Yep.
None bigger than that 3. Defense did a good job taking it away. Forced the basketball out of Jason Thompson's hands. And boy, did Patrick Mansell step up and hit the biggest shot of his freshman season.
Well, if not for the injuries to the 2 starting guards, Patrick Mansell wouldn't even have been on the floor.
There's plenty of time. We have 2 timeouts left. Man or zone, let's get a hit and get it to the lane. You don't need a 3, though. You don't need a 3. That's why we're running hits. Get it to the lane and let our people lift. Let our people lift. If you have a wide open one, take it. If not, get to the line. Get to the line. On a score, timeouts, set our defense. Okay? They are going right now to Thompson. I want a hard blitz, but don't let anybody cut. I need a rebound. Their possession. If we get it, push the ball. Gotta go. If they get an offensive rebound, foul. Go.
One-on-one, make a play. All right, let's go. Come on. Try and do it. If a dude's right there, it's hard to laugh. No, he's there.
We're at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. The Citizens Bank MAAC Championships, quarterfinal number 3 here on Saturday. Doug Sherman along with Ron Kennedy, and we have potential big news here. Tommy Dempsey's Ryder Bronx being pushed to the limit. They were the co-champs in the regular season. Tom Parada's Canisius Golden Griffins, the 10 seed, trying to shock the MAAC world.
And you heard Tom Parada. They're going to play it straight up, not give the foul.
Harris Mansell, Griffin, Thompson, Patrick Mansell, and Cam Warner on the floor for the Bronx. Into Jason Thompson, pushed to the corner by Logans, 10 to shoot. And a timeout called, but a traveling violation first.
He changed his pivot foot. Good call on the baseline. That's exactly where you need to go if you're Ryder. Put the ball in your best player's hands. And because he's been doubled, and you see right there, he picked it up. Good call by the officials, right on top of it. Once you establish a pivot foot, can't pick it up. Remember, he wants him going up. Now all of a sudden, Tom Parada's going to take the timeout. Remember, when he was in the huddle the last time, he said, we don't need a 3. They were setting something up to cut to the basket and try and get something inside. If not, get themselves to the foul line.
And you imagine that's still the game plan now with 25.8 to go.
No question about that. No need for a 3. Obviously, if it presents itself, you go ahead and take it. But they've got plenty of time. And the way Ryder shoots the basketball, their Achilles heel is the foul line. 10th in the MAAC at just 64%. I'm not sure they're even at that number here tonight. They've missed a lot of foul shots.
So now, Coach Parada was talking about, regardless of whether Ryder is in a man or a zone, we've got to get the ball into the paint. I would imagine in the man, that means get the ball to Frank Turner. Zone, pass it in there one way or the other, and let's go back in and take a listen.
Okay, so here's Robert, here's Trinks. Okay, go here. Greg, step to the corner again. Coming right at you, big fella. All right? We go here to here.
Got to get it quick, guys.
Trinks is now down. Okay? Now, once we have that, here comes Robert over for the basketball. Then the down screen happens. If he's wide open, you give it to him. If you're wide open, you can take it. If not, bang, right inside, watch the double. All right? Frank, we got you crashing.
Well, you got to expect that Ryder's going to get out of the zone and come man. Up by 3, you come out and show zone. You're just inviting yourself for all kinds of problems because it allows too many open looks from 3. If they go man, you saw what's going to happen. They're going to try and throw the ball into Logans, and why not? He's been the guy that's carried you all throughout this second half. Put the ball in his hands.
Ryder led 41-29 at halftime. Canisius has gotten right back in the ball game. Greg Logan's with a huge second half. They've been seesawing the last few minutes, and now defensively, Ryder in the man-to-man. 20 seconds left in regulation.
And remember, they're trying to post Logan's inside. Good seal. Oh my!
Almost a chance for the three-point play. Instead, he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And how about that perfect execution? You saw Tom Parada spelling it out in the huddle. If you're not wide open, you're going to pound it in. And once again, go right to the guy who's hot. 18 points here in the second half. And now, when he's on the line, what does it do? You can cut into the lead. It also can get right up in the full court pressure.
Logan's, as you see, 73% on the year. But now 2 for 4 from the line so far tonight.
Well, they put the basketball where they wanted, nearly got the finish. Misses that one, but this one's still huge. Not only to cut it down to a 2-point lead, but to allow you to find your man on a made foul shot, get up in the full court pressure. Oh, nearly a violation. It was a violation. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is the very last thing you want to do as an official. They gave the ball to him, and then Canisius trying to get into the lane violation. Oh my. That's the last thing that you want to do as an official. If you see a guy coming in, you don't want to give him the basketball there to allow that violation. Once the ball gets given to the foul shooter, you can't step in. And what you're going to see, you can't step out either. Here comes Vasquez. He doesn't know where he's going to go. Step inside the three-point line. Oh my, freshman mistake. And as I said, as an official, that's the very last thing that you want to have to call. But again, he vacated, wasn't sure where he wanted to go. Remember last year's NCAA tournament of the year before, it happened to Kentucky when they had a lane violation late.
Could you make anything out of that we caught from Coach Parada?
Well, I didn't hear anything, but you know what they're going to do. Get up in full court pressure no matter who catches the basketball. You've got to give up the quick foul.
Harris Mansell, the trigger man for the Ryder Bronx. Lamar Johnson goes deep. He's covered into Jason Thompson. And the immediate foul given by Logans with 14.5 on the clock.
Well, here's where he's going to have to step to the line and convert. Lucky for him, it's the 10th foul, so it'll be a 2-shot foul. Remember when he came back in the first half and we wondered why he was coming in to take those foul shots, and we said maybe to help boost his confidence because he was going to have to make a key foul shot late? I didn't think it was going to be tonight. I thought maybe it was going to have to be tomorrow or Monday. Well, here's a key foul shot coming up right here, right now.
Thompson all by himself at the lane, along with 4 Canisius Golden Griffins. Can't do it. Still a one-possession game.
And it's in his head, and you got to wonder why he's up in the backcourt to come get the basketball, because he's such a release against the pressure. But when you put it in his hands, you're taking a chance. You know, sometimes you got to play the numbers, and at a 50-some% foul shooter on the season, he's just about there. 4 for 9 tonight.
1 out of 2. It's a 4-point Ryder lead.
Now you need the quick score and a timeout. 3 or 2 doesn't matter.
Bevilacqua gets the timeout as he slipped at midcourt. And so now Canisius with 11.3 going to need to come up with a quick bucket.
And that's the last timeout for Canisius. Tough place to take it. I think you got to put the ball in Frank Turner's hands. Let him rush up the floor, make a play, and try and save that timeout on a score to try and set your defense. But instead now, no timeouts now. Canisius got to score right up in the full court pressure. Let's listen in.
Frank here. Frank with the basketball. Come up and set a screen and go pop and leave. Okay? Whatever side he goes, so I want Drinks over here. Drinks get there. Okay? So baseline. Frank come up, set the screen, pop, and go to Drinks' side.
Can he come up and then he stay down? If they help, I'm gonna give it to him so he can win it.
Hey, okay, no timeout. Come up and set the screen.
No timeout.
Well, there's your point guard stepping in, asking a question. What they're going to do? They're going to run Bobby Drinks into the corner. It's going to be a pick and pop for Logans. Remember, Logan's a pretty good three-point shooter at 41%. Turner with the ball in his hands. Here comes a high ball screen.
Vasquez Simmons setting the screen and the foul given before Turner can get into the offense. Griffin called for the hold.
Good foul. It was only 14 fouls. That's now their 5th. Look for him to give one more foul here to try and take some more time off the clock. That's why
7.
I didn't like the timeout as well, taking it. Got to rush the ball up the floor. Got to shoot it.
Here's Turner in the foul, given up by Johnson before the shot. So they've effectively whittled the time down to 3.9.
And with Canisius taking a timeout, it allowed Ryder and Tommy Dempsey to tell his team to give up those 2 fouls. That timeout backfired. Got to throw it up.
Goldsberry for 3. Off the mark. Ryder will survive.
Barely.
75-71. The co-regular season champs are pushed to the limit by the number 10 seed from Canisius. Injuries and fouls depleted this Ryder team, and all the while Canisius just continued to forge ahead. Greg Logans with the huge second half, 18 of his 20 points. But the MAAC Coach of the Year, Tommy Dempsey, survives and advances to tomorrow night's semifinals. You saw that Jason Thompson has been given our Pepsi Player of the Game award. He did finish with 18 points in spite of his foul trouble. Ryder survived 75-71 as they seesawed throughout the second half. Again, it was a double-figure difference at the intermission. And again, earlier this year, this Ryder team beat this Canisius team by more than 50. But here, in the third quarterfinal of the MAAC tournament, the Golden Griffins, after having upset Iona last night, very nearly pulled off what would have been the upset of MAAC tournament history. As it is, the Griffs are done for the year. They finished the season 6-25. They will be heading back to Buffalo, but their fans, as you see, got more than they could have ever asked for out of this ball game here tonight. Coach Parada's club receiving congratulations for their effort. In the meantime, we turn our attention back to the victors. Rob Kennedy standing by with our Pepsi Player of the Game.
All right, Doug, and thanks. And Jason, be honest with me. Did you think it would be that tough?
No, not at all. I mean, I know Canisius, had an up and down year, but I give a lot of credit to them. They play tough for 40 minutes, and we just have to come with our next game a little bit tougher and play more consistent for 40 minutes.
And it was a struggle for you, sitting down at times. Sometimes that's the best way to guard you, get you into foul trouble. What were you thinking when you came back in with those 3 fouls late?
I'm just being a senior, and maybe this being my last game, I got to go in there and lead my team. And at times I'm going to have to score. At times I'm going to have to, get stops and rebounds. And I was just trying to go in there and not get into more foul trouble and end up fouling out and hurt my team. So I just tried to give a little spark.
And did you get a chance to talk to Ryan after he got knocked down there?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I'll see how he is in the locker room, but hopefully he's well because we're going to need him in the rest of the tournament.
All right, congratulations. They say survive and advance. You barely survived. Now you get to advance. Tommy, I'll tell you what. You beat them by 50. You talked about the fact that was a challenge to make sure that your guys didn't take them lightly. Didn't look like that, but boy, all of a sudden, it looked like everything was going against you there for a while.
Yeah, a lot of things went against us tonight, but that was, a credit to Canisius and the way their kids prepared and fought. We battled some injuries. We battled some foul trouble. We'll have to regroup a little bit now and see where we're at for tomorrow's game because, it doesn't look good for Ryan and Justin. So we got through it, though, and it was a good character win because a lot of guys that hadn't played a lot had to come in and battle down the stretch in a tough spot.
And sometimes conventional wisdom says that you got to win one of those tough battles if you're going to win a championship. Obviously, you're hoping that is the conventional wisdom. But with those 2 guys out, a couple of guys stepping up. How about that shot by Patrick Mansell?
Yeah, he's a clutch player, and he's kind of waiting his turn right now because we have so many guys that are playing the 2-guard position, but I thought he would make it when he took it. I really believe that. He's made big shots his whole life, and that was a big shot tonight.
And it was tough getting Jason some good touches. He keeps getting double teams and as well picking up a couple of those fouls. Talk about having to try and coach him through not picking up some of those fouls, yet being aggressive.
He's just in and out of the game tonight so often that I don't think he ever got in a good rhythm, which that was also something that I thought was very disruptive. But at the same time, we have to battle through it. He's got to do a better job at not picking up any silly fouls so that he can be aggressive around the rim. But again, a lot of things went against us, but our kids pulled through.
All right, congratulations on the win. Regroup. Hopefully you got some of those healthy bodies back tomorrow.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, Doug, back to you.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Coach. The game was tied at 71 apiece with just over a minute remaining when redshirt freshman Patrick Mansell, who was only on the floor because of injuries to 2 other Bronx guards, hit the game-winning 3. The Bronx survive and advance. We'll be back after this.